As I was compiling these words of wisdom by Avicenna, I found myself so deeply moved that I even wrote some of them down in my notebook. We kindly ask you to like and comment on this video so that these precious words can reach more people. Thank you in advance for your patience. If it were up to me to define the human being, I would describe him as a creature inclined to forget himself and his body. Many of the patients I treated, even with serious illnesses, were individuals who, at crucial points in their lives, never learned to value themselves or to say no. Love also includes a passion for knowledge. The most valuable knowledge is that which is put into action. For human health, what we need is not better theories, but better practices. One must begin acts of worship with enthusiasm. The light of the soul lies in prostration. There is no peace among those who constantly find fault with their health. Human health is nobler than all the sciences ever invented by scholars. The world can only be changed when hearts of individuals and consciences of societies are transformed. Healing the wounds of childhood requires great effort. My only fear is to die suddenly tomorrow without having yet explored myself. My friends, nourishing both body and soul is wisdom. Otherwise, you feed snakes and demons in your heart. One who has faced death accepts illness. Don't discuss what makes a good person, just be one. Do not go into debt to the ignoble. Never forget that the value of a person is measured by the worth of the things he finds interest in. A lazy person sleeps too much, drifts away from himself, and inherits poverty. Do good. It is easier to find God through good deeds than through mere contemplation and discovery. Spouses form a whole not by how much they resemble each other, but by how well they complement each other's differences. The best way to change people is by being a living example. If the hardships we experience do not make us better and stronger people, then all our efforts are in vain. A heart that does not turn to God becomes filled with emptiness. The right person brings happiness, the wrong one brings experience. The stomach is the home of disease. Diet is the beginning of treatment. Gluttony and loss of appetite are the body's chief enemies. Find yourself a worthwhile occupation. For if you do not keep yourself busy, others will occupy you. When the love of faith enters the heart, one feels a deep inner peace and spiritual spaciousness. This is the first sign of a healthy soul and body. To love actively overcomes attention and harmony problems. The wise remain silent. The ignorant forget. The wisest person is the one who best knows his own self. As the fear of God deepens, the meanings of the Quran are revealed all the more. The more people try to escape the grip of fear and terror, the more these feelings take hold. Only through patience and surrender can one learn to confront them and reach true peace. Justice and conscience begin first in one's own inner world. How can someone know his Lord if he does not know himself? When intellect and knowledge unite, great ideas are born. When egos unite, deception follows. As long as the world exists, there will be hardships. The human being is worth more than all the sciences that could be spoken about him. True love chooses from among hearts that reflect God's love. Selfish hearts cannot love. For a person to reflect on himself and struggle for his spiritual world requires great determination and immense effort. The mind cannot see the truth without lifting the veil of thoughts. Do not just question the origin of addiction, ask about the source of the illness. The most perfected person is the one who distributes justice to all without expecting anything in return. Seek a healer for his knowledge, not his appearance. The heart's intuitions cannot be grasped by reason alone. The belief that everything must come with a price and yield profit is deeply flawed. Humility and modesty allow a person to understand his limits. As knowledge, awareness, ethics, and compassion diminish, bigotry and selfishness increase. To be a Muslim is to keep God constantly in one's consciousness. Are you aware that while chasing after things that don't belong to you, you may lose what is truly yours? A house where sunlight does not enter is one that doctors often visit. Do not impose upon others what you would not tolerate for yourself. The worst kind of ignorance is not knowing oneself. Nearly all illnesses originate from what is eaten and drunk. Keep your feet warm and your head cool. Every power in the world begins with sound morals and sound reason. After eating, wait until digestion is complete before consuming anything else. Do not display your wealth before friends or foes. In truth, it is not the age of the patient, but the age of the illness that matters. If you take a walk after eating, it is a sign of both physical and spiritual well-being. Joy eases digestion. Do not take medicine unless absolutely necessary. I fear the ox because it has strength but no intellect. A scholar without action is like a cloud that brings no rain. Doubt makes you a friend to no one. Both excess sleep and lack of sleep are harmful. Do good without distinguishing between friend and foe. A wealthy man who is not generous is like a tree that bears no fruit. Show hospitality and respect to your friends and companions. Never trust someone who once bore enmity toward you. Avoid mixing mockery and jest into your speech. There is no wealth greater than health. Turn inward often. There, you will be refreshed and renewed. There is no friend like health, no enemy like disease, no sweetness like a child's love, no pain like hunger. There is no medicine more powerful or effective than love and affection. An ignorant doctor is an assistant in the camp of death. True knowledge rests on two foundations: intellect and intuition. No one is more blind than the one who chooses not to see. Everything I've truly learned, I've learned in prostration. Do not ask the doctor, ask the one who has suffered. Science and art leave countries where they are not respected. Do not eat your own bread at another's table. This world is not a place for games and entertainment. He who knows his true self is not shaken by the careless words of those who do not know themselves. The human soul is a lamp, science its light, and divine wisdom its oil. If it burns and gives light, only then can you be called truly alive. Every illness is caused by a parasite, yet sadly we lack the tools to see it. People will believe the reasons you give, your sincerity, in the weight of your suffering, only after you are gone. Recognize the person who chooses not to recognize you. Sometimes doing nothing at all is the most healing act. Man walks through the fires of his own desires. A wise person tells no one about his illness. For the weakness of the body is not just a physical matter, it is also a reflection of the soul and a test from within. Illness is not an outward wound, but an inner issue that must be resolved within the soul. By winning this battle in his own mind, a person preserves the wholeness of his spirit and strengthens his resistance against external threats. The healthiest person is one who values a healthy sexual life. For harmony between body and mind comes not only from physical well-being, but also from spiritual balance. Sexuality is not merely a source of pleasure. It strengthens emotional bonds, helps manage stress, and enhances overall happiness. A healthy sexual life uplifts a person's inner peace and quality of life. Grant me a soul that is beautiful, and let everything I possess externally be in harmony with the beauty within me. Then I will believe that true wealth belongs only to the wise. One must purify the soul so that the veil over the eyes may lift and the divine light may be seen. When people lose their sense of purpose in life and weaken their social bonds, internal illnesses begin from that very point. Deterioration in our mental, physical, and social health stems from this disconnection. Animals may become dangerous when hungry and struggling to survive. Humans, however, pose the greatest danger when they are full of blessings and power. Thus, most crimes are not born of poverty, but of excess and heedlessness. Contemplation and walking are inner efforts made to understand one's soul and the purpose of creation. As a result, gaining knowledge about the truths of the universe and the relationships between them, as created by God, becomes easier, because walking is healing. To do good and to be aware of good walks in life is a divine gift. What the soul sees is different from what the eyes perceive. If these reflections inspired you or gave you something to think about, consider subscribing to the channel. By doing so, you help us share timeless wisdom with more people around the world. Leave a comment with the insight that resonated most with you, and let's continue growing in understanding, compassion, and inner strength together.